Drama builds. Coco Gauff bold complained about Laura Siegemund before Wuhan Showdown. It was supposed to be another calm morning in Wuhan. The humid air hung over the Optics Valley International Tennis Center like invisible silk. Players stretched, fans streamed in, and organizers buzzed with quiet excitement for the round of 16 matchup. Coco Gauff versus Laura Siegemund. But hours before the match, whispers began to swirl. Not about strategies or rankings, about tension. At 9:43 a.m., an American journalist tweet detonated across the tennis world. Coco Gauff voices frustration with Siegemund's slow play and gamesmanship ahead of their Wuhan clash. Sparks could fly tonight, eyes fire, hashtag Wuhan Open. Within minutes, hashtag Coco versus Laura trended globally. The match hadn't even begun, and already, the story had shifted from tennis to temperament. Flashback, the seed of rivalry. To understand the fire, we must go back 2 years, to the 2023 U.S. Open. That night, Coco Gauff was just 19, a rising superstar playing in front of her home crowd under the glowing lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium. Her opponent? Laura Siegemund, veteran, doubles specialist, and master of disruption. 4-2 sets. The match turned into a psychological war. Siegemund's pace was glacial. Between points, she adjusted her strings, fetched towels, delayed serves, and argued with umpires. The crowd grew restless. Gauff, known for composure, finally snapped. In a moment that went viral worldwide, Coco walked up to the umpire and said firmly, "She's never ready when I'm serving. It's not fair. You're never calling her out." The crowd roared. Coco's frustration was pure human and justified. She won the match, but the tension between the two players simmered long after the handshakes. And now, in Wuhan, the rematch loomed. The press room sparks. The morning press conference was routine until a reporter asked Coco a question that shifted the entire tone. "Coco, you'll be facing Laura Siegemund again tonight. Any thoughts on how you'll approach this one?" Coco paused, choosing her words carefully. Her media training kicked in, but her honesty broke through. "I respect every opponent," she began, "but I hope we can have a match that flows better than last time. Tennis is about rhythm, not interruptions. I want the focus to be on playing." The room fell silent. That wasn't a jab. It was a statement. Calm, measured, but unmistakably pointed. Within minutes, headlines erupted. Coco called for fair play before Siegemund Showdown. Wuhan Open tension rises. Gauff speaks out. And in the players' lounge, somewhere across the complex, Laura Siegemund's smile reportedly disappeared. Laura fires back. Siegemund, never one to stay silent, was asked about Coco's remarks later that afternoon. Her reply? Sharp as a serve down the line. If she wants a faster match, she can learn patience. I've been playing for 20 years. I take my time to play my tennis. Maybe she should focus less on what I do and more on her own game. A statement like a dagger. The press had its headline. The audience had its drama. And the players had their battleground. By sunset, the tension was no longer subtle. It was palpable. The atmosphere before the match. The crowd buzzed even before the first serve. The Wuhan sky was a velvet mix of purple and gold. Fans waved both American and German flags. Camera flashes popped like lightning bolts. Coco Gauff walked in first, wearing her signature deep blue kit, headphones on, jaw clenched, eyes laser-focused. Siegemund followed, calm, composed, twirling her racket with a deliberate grace that almost felt mocking. Their handshake at the net was brief, professional, not friendly. The umpire called. "Ladies and gentlemen, time." Gauff to serve. The air was thick with unspoken words. The first set, patience versus precision. Coco started fast. 3 aces in the first 2 games. Her rhythm was poetry in motion. But Laura, she slowed everything down. Every return took time. Every serve toss felt eternal. Between points, she towed off again and again. By the 5th game, Coco's shoulders tightened. Her brows furrowed. She bounced the ball, ready to serve, but Laura was still adjusting her wristband. The umpire looked hesitant. The crowd booed softly. Coco exhaled through her nose. "Every point," she muttered under her breath. Still, she stayed composed. Using her athleticism, she painted the lines with blistering forehands. First set, 6-4 Gauff. She didn't celebrate. Just clenched her fist and whispered, "Stay locked in." The turning tide. Siegemund came alive in the second set, mixing slices, drop shots, and net rushes. She threw Coco off rhythm. The veteran's craftiness began to frustrate the younger star. Coco's forehands grew rushed. Her frustration simmered visibly when Laura took another extended pause before serving at 3-2. Finally, Coco snapped. She walked up to the umpire and said with fire in her voice, "This is exactly what I talked about. Every single game, she's taking forever. It's unfair to both of us." The crowd applauded. Even the umpire looked uneasy, but gave Siegemund a time violation warning. Laura turned, incredulous. "You serious?" she barked. "I'm just preparing." Coco stayed silent, staring straight ahead. The power dynamic had shifted. That moment went viral before the set even ended. The clash peaks. By the third set, every point felt like a battle of wills. Coco's youth versus Laura's cunning. Speed versus strategy. Composure versus control. The crowd split. Some cheering for the American firebrand, others admiring the German veteran's stubborn defiance. At 4-3, Coco unleashed a lightning-quick rally that ended with a forehand winner down the line. She screamed, "Let's go!" The sound echoing through the stadium like a war cry. Siegemund rolled her eyes, muttering something under her breath in German. The tension reached its boiling point. But Coco never lost her balance again. 2 games later, she broke serve and sealed the match, 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. The aftermath on court. At the net, the handshake was glacial. Laura extended her hand briefly. The reunion. Weeks later, the two met again, this time not on a court, but in a charity exhibition event in Singapore for the WDA Foundation. The cameras caught them laughing softly before the warm-up. The tension was gone. The respect, finally, was visible. Coco later told a reporter, "We talked. We're fine. We both want the same thing, to compete hard and love the game." Laura nodded beside her. "She's fiery. I like that. Maybe I push her buttons. But sometimes friction makes the diamond shine." The audience applauded. Epilogue, more than a match. The Wuhan Showdown became a turning point for Coco Gauff, not just as a player, but as a leader in the sport. She had faced provocation without losing her core. She had stood for fairness without crossing into anger. She had turned drama into dialogue. And for tennis, that mattered. Because in every era, there's a moment when you challenge its tradition, not out of rebellion, but evolution. For Coco Gauff, that moment was Wuhan 2025. For Laura Siegemund, it was proof that even the most seasoned players must adapt. Final words in her post-tournament journal. Coco wrote one line that summed it all up. "The game is fastest when you stay still inside." And perhaps that's the lesson both players learned. That true control isn't about slowing the game or speeding it up. It's about knowing exactly who you are when the world spins around you. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.